Alright, so this here is gonna be pretty long. I've decided to dissect or really give my opinions or elaborate on the Kanye West interview at the Breakfast Club from 2013. Now, I find this whole situation with Kanye very interesting. Like, interesting down to a spiritual level. I feel it. Actually, in many ways, it's changed me personally. It kind of has helped me, like, blossom, come out of my cocoon. But I don't think I'm gonna get into all that right now. Right now, I just want to get into this interview. And I can't believe, like, 2013, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 5 years later, in Charlemagne, these people still don't get what Kanye talking about. 5 years later. And I remember distinctly, Kanye said in this interview, that a God can recognize a God. You know, some people might not understand what I mean by that. Be honest with you, I'm not finna get into that right now. But I just find it interesting, like, they really don't understand where this man is coming from. Like, I just am not understanding. But anyways, there's maybe some pauses in between here and there. I'm going to be coming in and out, and I'm going to be playing certain sections. Like, this is not pre-thought out or anything. This is just me on the go. And I've only just recently decided to start posting what I'm thinking about calling my diaries on YouTube. So, yeah, this one's going to be pretty rough. I mean, but I'm just going to go in because I feel it to elaborate on my thoughts about this particular interview. But I don't think I can cast it and from my iPod and record at the same time. So I think I'm going to cast it from my laptop. Alright, just fair warning, this interview is 42 minutes long. I don't know, the video my recording may not be that long because I'm not going to comment on everything, literally everything. I'm just going to comment on specific things that he's talking about when I feel moved to. Alright, I'm going back. I'm just going to play the portions that I want to elaborate on and elaborate on them a little bit.
Before, but that's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Now, question, wow. You know, when you did this show, of course, the show seems like it cost a lot of money. And I know most hip-hop shows, it's usually, you know, not that expensive. A lot of rappers and not too much of the, I say the hoopla. And you had a lot of hoopla, I'm hearing. So why did you want to take so much pride into the show?
Well, I'm just a creative. I'm more like a Walt Disney or something. Mm-hmm. Like, rap is just a chamber of my thoughts. Mm-hmm. It's something that I really wanted to express as a modern day, you know, poet. Mm-hmm. Because, you know, if I lived in a past lifetime, maybe I would have been a playwright or something. But in this lifetime, to be the most relevant is to be a rock star.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you can express, you know, at the highest level there. And for me, I came from, you know, art school and everything. I would, draw out all these ideas and all these concepts. And the more and more I get to create, the younger and younger and younger I feel. So, when I did Glow in the Dark, I felt young. I felt like I was 5 years old when I, got into a little trouble.
I completely relate. I can relate to that on an inner soul level. I feel like an artist. I have different things I'm interested in, different things I want to do. I'm constantly coming up with ideas. And I mean, just to talk about what he was saying in reference to being a rap rock star. Not only did he practice at that, he knew that was an avenue that he could use, a medium that he could use to get a message out. Just like I myself am starting to use YouTube as a medium to get my message out, with the skill set that I have. I mean, that's just about being resourceful and being smart, especially when you are a person who has multiple things you want to accomplish, multiple things you want to affect change in. You do need to find some type of way to build up money, build up revenue. I myself have something I'm interested in. I'm very interested in learning more about passive incomes, because the work I want to do for God, I'm going to need money for. And I believe God will bless me to do his will. And of course, everything while I'm doing God's will, it's not going to always require money. So I do that. It's not all about money. But sometimes some people are on a different path to affect a different type of change, maybe on a grander scale. I myself would 100% financially support Kanye. I'm not even finna get into all of it, but all I'm gonna say is I recently, after all of this that he done came out and said, and me going back, doing a little bit of digging about his past, and realized he been saying the same thing since then, it's just like, it's elevated, it's evolved. And I can totally see where he coming from right now with the coming at it from the love. I just get it. It's just, sometimes it's just even hard to even put into words. That's why nobody's understanding him. But, yeah, I watched the first about 20 minutes of this interview already. And then it's 20 more minutes after that. So, for the first 20 minutes in, I kind of already know what I wanted to elaborate on. So I'm going to try not to get long-winded, because since I had already, it stuck out to me before, I probably can keep going about it a little bit more, and I'm going to try not to do that because I don't want to make this too long. Yeah, and I think I came in on on that last little segment with Kanye when he was going in to start to talk about how he felt like a child. The only thing I'm going to say about that, I'm a Christian, so if any Christians are listening to this, look in your Bible about verses about being childlike, being a child at heart, and children in general. That will help you understand where he's coming from in that regard. And if you're not a Christian, just look at some different philosophies about the same thing, about children, about being lighthearted, being free, being a free spirit. Look at some things like that, and maybe that'll help you understand where he's coming from. And what he means about that creative energy that he needs to get out, and how he needs to be himself, be who God created him to be, in order to fulfill his duty, his role in God's will. You have to be who you are supposed to be. That's when you will get to maximize, you will put out the maximum effect of what God wants you to affect when you're being authentically you. All right. Pause. I'm definitely finna elaborate on this a little bit. I think he goes on for a couple of minutes, but I'm finna let it go on because this needs to be heard. And it's kind of, I find it odd in the black community seeing some people, I don't know. I don't see everybody's comments, so I don't know if this is coming from people who talk about black economics or not. I know it's some that a few that I've seen that can't really see where Kanye is coming in his latest actions. And just to elaborate a little bit, the whole I love Trump thing and the Candace Owen thing, whatever. That stuff. So if you don't know what's going on in reference to that, then look up his latest controversy. And what I'm talking about is some of these people that I see talking about black economics not understanding where he is coming from, especially if you were to watch his latest interview with Charlemagne, and he's like taking it to where, personally, I never thought, like, I guess when you put that energy, I mean, I didn't think I would be living to see such a prominent person talking about that kind of stuff. But I also I'm a very spiritual person as well. And yeah, I mean, it makes me just want to put that type of energy out even more, and bring this stuff to fruition. So, but before I get ahead of myself, Kanye is talking about black economics here. I guess on a level that some of you are not able to comprehend yet. But anyways, let him get into it.
Billionaires. There's only 7 black ones, and we know some of the most famous ones.
Back up a little bit.
Oprah or whatever. So
there we go.
Jesus has gotten, because I didn't like the album at all, and I was a Kanye West fan.
Yeah,
I didn't mean to go this far back, man.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. So what were you saying?
I was asking about the whole Yeezus, like, what makes you so frustrated?
Yeah, it's not about Yeezus. It's about, Michael Jackson was told he couldn't play videos on MTV because he was considered to be an urban artist.
Right.
So as soon as I start talking about clothing, everybody's going to talk about urban clothing line. Mm-hmm. What I'm trying to say is, like, it's 1,460-something billionaires in the world. I don't know exactly because somebody might have thought of a new tech idea and 8 companies valued at what? So 1,470 billionaires. There's only 7 black ones, and we know...
Do Kanye got on a WWJD?
So... in order to really impact and be in a position,
I'm just saying this. I can't believe I've been asleep.
Being like, a superstar.
Sleep on Kanye.
That like sells a lot of like records and gets a lot of radio spins. That's actually a billionaire either. Mm-hmm. We get into so much of like, arguing with each other that we're not looking at the main thing. But what I did with Yeezus is I took the power into my own hand. I wanted to remove, the hits from it. I wanted to remove the choruses. Of course, Blood on the Leaves and Bound, it's got a chorus, I like resolve that.
Okay, so about what he's saying with Yeezus, he wanted to remove that because he wanted to give us straight message. He wanted to hit us with that message. He wasn't trying to make you dance. He wasn't trying to make you dance. Trying to make you dance. Trying to make you think. Think. But anyways, what I mainly wanted to talk about was, and yeah, he pretty much said it. Sorry if I was talking over it a little bit when I noticed that he had on a WWJD bracelet. Now I'm gonna have to definitely go get me another one. And all my 90s babies should, especially if you're from the South, you should know what a WWJD is. But anyways, if you want to go back and listen to his little spiel about that, it was about 3 to 4 minutes in. He was talking about black economics. He talking about black economics in the new interview too. I mean, I'm mainly talking to the people who claim they want us to do better about black economics. Those are the people I'm talking to right now, who can't see that that's what Kanye is talking about. And apparently been talking about.
Like I said, I'm from Chicago. People is dying every day, and everybody thinks we're going to do a benefit concert and help that out. But I need to be put in a position to be able to apply my thoughts, the same thoughts. You know, before I came in the game, rappers was killing each other. Mm-hmm. You ain't even heard about that. No.
Okay, I'll pause right there. What he mean by he need to be put in a position, it is something I actually realized recently. Yes, I was still enslaved or ignorant, thinking that, you know, I was under that spell of thinking all rich people were bad. Like, it's like I knew they weren't all bad, but I pretty much painted them with a broad brush. I did. And even before all of this, like, I slowly, since in the last kind of year, I started making it a point to talk to more conservatives, just because I like to be, well, I like, you know, my ultimate goal, I ultimately live for God. I don't live for my race. I don't live for the fact that I'm a female. I know there's other things, different things that I can affect within these communities, but ultimately I live for God. So I am for the human race also in general. So, I mean, yeah, I decided personally to start reaching out to more conservatives and talking with them. And slowly, after I've been doing this over the past year, my views about, you know, being so harsh towards the wealthy, they're changing. I mean, I'm not like that no more. I understand that there's a lot of them who aren't doing right, but I understand that, you know, you can't depend on them to do everything. Like, there's millions, billions of people in the world, and this is pretty much how I put it simply. There's millions of people in this country, billions in the world. Now, let's just talk about America specifically. You can't take one Kanye ain't gonna fix all of Chicago. One Kanye, Rihanna, Beyonce, hell, I don't know, Tom Cruise coming to mind for some reason. Tom Cruise, Angelina Jolie, even all of them. Like he said, they ain't got billionaire money. They don't have billionaire money. It's what we really need: the better housing, the better schools, the better books, better history, better technology, creating new type of stuff, getting ready to move on to flying cars and stuff. I mean, yeah, it's going to take more of us and ultimately being more creative and creating more stuff. So we do need to start being more free. I've been tired of the boundaries as well. And I'll leave that for another memo. I might actually make note of it real quick. But anyways, yeah, what he's saying is he needs to be set up, meaning like me. What I need to do, because I'm feeling Kanye. I'm feeling Kanye. And I'm up on this YouTube now because I'm trying to just do what I need to do. And I need to put myself out there. I need to create some revenue as well. It's people like me that need to do what they need to do so we can help back people like Kanye, who already got a bigger platform. So that's what he's talking about. And he's not even really, like, at that point, he wasn't directly referencing somebody like, he is talking about somebody like me. But he's even talking about people who already are established, people who already have money. If you're a doctor, if you're a college teacher, an engineer, anything, and you have money to like help donate to the cause or whatever, that's the type of people he's talking about. And he even really talking about right here his other musical peers who got millions like him. So yeah, let him get back into it.
first time rappers rapped on a song with each other that were at a God level, all of them was Swagger Like Us. After that, all the songs is like Swagger Like Us. The thing is, we're not each other's enemies. I'm showing us how we can work together, you know. But in fashion or whatever, or you know, product design, they try to marginalize us and say we can only have an urban clothing line, or we can only do this. And of course, we're gonna have an urban clothing line. We're gonna wear it to death, and then it's gone. Now, meanwhile, Ralph Lauren could build his story up, you know what I'm saying, show his family, but you know, I'm showing my family. And I think actually I have a love-hate relationship with the paparazzi, but actually.
All right, so what he was talking about just then, being marginalized, I feel him on not wanting to use white and black no more. That's also another subject that I'm not going to get into here. But, you know, the people that head these companies are white people. And more broadly, they're just rich people in general who got this certain type of standard. Because, I mean, even the white people I'm around every day, they don't act like them white people. So anyways, these is the rich ass people who want to make the man only do urban. And like he said, that's not longevity. That's what he's talking about. That's not longevity. He wants to break in there and make a way for us to build wealth. I think he's talking from two angles. I think he's talking about the black community and black people just in general around the world, because they're not in these circles. Them billionaires he mentioned, he talking about from around the world. So he could even be talking about blacks from Africa, dark-skinned peoples from India, or whoever. They're not in that. I mean, I think I don't know. When I say Indians and stuff, you know, well, some of them might be in the billionaires club. I mean, Muslims, because they got the oil. So I'm not really too sure about that. If he means black people specifically or blacks around the world. Either way, he is talking about getting into that crowd, building, and even us common people, establishing that type of generational wealth on that level is what he would like to do. And his ultimate goal is to help make life a little bit easier for people who may not be as fortunate. And to be honest with you, me going into that whole, his future goals about making stuff, helping the less fortunate, that didn't really pertain to this interview. So I'm sorry for, just dragging on. Sorry.
Man, to throw them blows, man. That's what they waiting for. They waiting for Charlamagne to tap these gloves and go at Ye.
I'm not trying to throw blows, but this is what I want to do.
Let's go.
Like, to me, it seems like you're such a walking contradiction, because you'll denounce the corporations, but then you'll get on stage and say you need Nike and Adidas to back you. That makes no sense to me.
100%.
But how can you denounce the corporations, say F the corporations, and say you feel like a slave, but then ask the companies to back you?
It ain't that I feel like a slave. We are meant to.
All right, before he get into this realness about the mentally enslaved, Charlamagne, and that's why Kanye get frustrated, because I don't want to take it there, but yeah, the man got the God on the end of his name, but he ain't acting like he ain't aware of exactly what God can do. Okay, yeah, Kanye's talking about being marginalized by these companies because it's true. But yet, we still need these companies to get in that door. You have to use the tools that you're given to get in, and God will make a way. And that's what he believes. I believe that too. And these days, I'm praying for him to make a way for Kanye. So that's what he's talking about. What you mean? What do you mean? Why are you denouncing these companies? Just like when I'm at work saying I need a raise, y'all need to pay me more, but I'm still going to work here. I mean, what, I'm not supposed to fight for my rights because I still need something for them? I'm not supposed to stand up for myself? And then just on a bigger level, Black economics again. I mean, you're going to face reality that you're going to need some of these people that got the money, people at the banks. You need them. But what you don't know is, or you haven't fully realized, is they need you too. They need us. But we're going to start demanding our worth. What we deserve. That's what Kanye is demanding. He is demanding you not marginalize me. And you still let me in the dough. Because I'm worth it. And he is worth it. I'm worth it too. You are too. Now let me let him get into this realness about your perhaps current condition.
Enslaved. We enslaved to brands. We enslaved to like a Benz symbol. We enslaved to chains. A woman is enslaved to the concept of diamonds are a girl's best friend. Like girls in London don't even wear engagement ring. That's all been programmed into us. When we born artists. We born free, and then we held down by society's perception of us. We just don't want to be embarrassed. And I took the opportunity to look as stupid as possible. I'm saying when I was in Chicago and watched The Throne, I was gonna change my outfit to some normal leather pants and stuff. And they tailored it. One was too tight. Then the next one ripped on me. And I felt like God was like, nah, man, you can't be scared in Chicago because there's a bunch of gangsters and it's where you grew up. I want you to wear that kilt in Chicago. I want you to release that fear. I want you to show as an artist that you could create to the highest level. You know what I'm saying? So,
what that got to do with you denouncing corporations, but then still asking corporations to be in business with you? That's what the contradiction is.
I'm not denouncing the corporation. I'm denouncing the people that have the job at the corporation at that time.
Okay, so I think as far as my video is concerned, my voice diary is concerned, we got the part about the corporations. But isn't it funny how Charlemagne just didn't catch none of what he was just saying about, or he wanted to, I don't know, maybe he caught it, I don't know, I ain't in the man brain, but he wanted to bypass it like Kanye and just say no real shit. Now that there, though, he was just talking about freeing your mind, being who you are, when in reference to the Chicago not wanting to wear the kilt because he was around all these so-called gangster studs, whatever. Dudes want to sag their pants. Dudes want to wear big shirts, want to call people gay if they this, and that, if they ain't the norm. All that, y'all got to cut that noise out. Y'all got to stop it. Stop it. Like I tell my little sister to tell the kids at school in Georgia. Because I grew up in Georgia, and yeah, everything was about, who got on Polo, who got on the J's, who got on this, and that, who got on Tommy Hilfiger. All the black people knowing that Tommy so-called said he ain't like black people, still rocking the hell out of it. Okay, them days is over. They OV. And actually, I'm finna take back. I mean, if you that type of person, I'm calling it lame. I'm calling that coonery. I ain't really trying to call nobody a coon, but I'm just letting you know, like, trying to paint a better picture of where I'm coming from. Because honestly, I mean, keeping it real, not having a second thought about it, that is the real cooning. That's the real cooning. Tommy Hilfiger. Is them Bugle Boys jeans you wearing? Hell no, girl. You know these Polo. I think the point is made. Oh, but I didn't say, I don't know if I said or not, but I tell my little sister to tell the kids at school, we ain't twins. I don't have to be like you. I wear what I want to wear. That's what I tell her to tell them little kids. All right, and remember when I was telling you about knowing your worth? That's what Kanye finna get into right here. And I just want to run it back to his recent tweets about when he's saying basically, don't worry, because he even said it. That's why I understand why people not getting it in the interview. He literally said, racism is very real. It exists. It's something I deal with. But it is something that don't affect me. No, it don't bother me no more. I'm not letting that be, I'm not being a slave to that. I know my worth. I know I'm above that. I know I'm a God. I know God is in me. So yeah, you do what you do, but I'm gonna do me. That's what he's saying. Forget about all that racism shit. Yeah, it's there. But fuck it. I'm trying not to cuss, but yeah, I'm just trying to put it simply for people. I mean, and I to be honest with you, I try not to cuss just because personally, like, I still say damn, hell, shit, but I try not to drop a lot of F bombs and B bombs just because that just really ain't my stilo like that. But I was just trying to, keep it all the way 100 real quick. Not like I ain't above nobody else. But let Kanye tell y'all about from 2013 about knowing your worth. How and the fierceness we should have behind it.
It was A&Rs that don't work there no more telling me how I needed to work with another rapper or how I wasn't a rapper and blah, blah. And now it's people that's at the corporations. They got the ability and the facilities that if I put my genius to it, that I can affect culture in a higher way the way I affected people when I made them Louis. Right. And I affected people when I made them Yeezys. So I ain't going at Nike as a corporation. I'm going at the people that's running the corporation. And I'm saying, I'm going to hit you in the chest until you listen to me because you feel like you ain't got to take no meeting with me. So I'm going to turn up and I'm going to show you where we are. We World War Z. We going to run over that mountain until you listen to me because I'm influential. The reason why I'm influential, same reason why you want me to come to your show or you want me to wear your product is the same reason why you got to involve me and you got to cut me in. You know what I'm saying? People got fat without me. You cutting me in because people be having negotiations. When I was negotiating with Nike, they said, okay, cool, Kanye. You been screaming up and down. We're going to give you a deal for Yeezy finally because they was marginalizing me. Let me only design 2 shoes over a 5-year period. People talking about the Red October. That's the design for 3 years ago. You know how many ideas I got? You know what I'm saying? So they try to marginalize me and then they say, look, we're going to give you 4...
All right, and I'm gonna pause right there. Some people might say when he talking about, how many ideas I got, or they well, at least they let you design 2. Well, at least you got this. Well, at least you got that. That is a settling attitude. Okay, that might be okay for some people. Everybody got different things they are willing to settle on. But just because somebody is not willing to settle for what you're willing to settle for doesn't mean there's something wrong with them. Doesn't mean they don't appreciate what they have. It is because they appreciate it that they want to do more to have a bigger impact. So when I hear that, I don't hear he's being ungrateful. It sounds similar to me from working in warehouses and stuff when, you barely getting above. I'm from the South. I'm from South Carolina. I'm not from South Carolina. I'm from Georgia, but I've lived between both, so I pretty much sound from both. But I'm from the South. Lived in Texas too. And minimum wage, like when I first started working, it was like $7 and some change. Whatever. There's actually people who feel like, well, at least I got a job. At least it's millions of people that feel like that. Well, at least I got a job. And I'm trying to be a bigger person and, apply more things to my walk. And, hey, if that satisfies you, then okay. But if it don't satisfy me, don't try to make me feel like I don't appreciate what I have, because I do appreciate it. I just know there's more I could be doing and I should be doing. And I guess if this place can't offer that, then yeah, I probably need to move on. And I think that's kind of a place where Kanye's at maybe these days, knowing that maybe, I don't know the specifics, but has he figured out that maybe he needs to try to form some team within himself, like try to build something with people instead of trying to, with the people that hear his message, instead of trying to break into what these people got because he's not getting anywhere. I mean, it's still worth the try. But I mean, if you're not getting anywhere, then at least I'm pretty sure he still learned a lot, from that experience. And maybe he has those tools now to start it up on his own. I hope he does. That's what I hope for him, actually. All right, I'm going to elaborate on this a little bit. He hadn't really got into it yet, but he's starting to talk about, basically, in short, this is about, if you want to go watch the interview yourself, this is about 10:39 in, and he's starting to get into the whole Dame and Jay thing. And pretty much he recognized he had something to learn from Jay. And that's another thing, like, that goes back into, sometimes you need to befriend your enemies. Sometimes you need to go places that you normally wouldn't want to go because there's something you need to learn there. Even from people you're supposed to be around. We need to be more, I myself too, I need to be more aware about what I need to learn from different people. And I also need to be aware when I need to learn something. So that's really the point I want to get into. Kanye knowing that in order to affect the type of change he personally wants to affect, there are things he's going to have to change to reach a bigger audience. And he's not trying to not be himself. He's just trying to be a better version of himself and be able to articulate himself and control himself while getting his point across. And that's something that I need to work on. That's why you got to face your fears. Face your fears, and also, be careful about what's driving you to do those things. Because, if you're facing your fears and you're only like hurting people in your path, or, but I mean, hurt can be subjective, I'm not going to get into that, but it can be subjective. But what I mean, basically, try not to be an asshole. That's what I'm pretty much trying to say. Try not to be an asshole. If you're going around being an asshole, then you're probably not. And I mean, like, trying to fight everybody you don't agree with. That's what I mean by being an asshole. Not just saying something that somebody, quote unquote, think is rude, or, oh, I'm offended by what you said. No, I'm talking about, oh, I don't like what this person said, so I'm going to fight them. Oh, she was talking about me, so I'm going to fight her. Oh, they stole. Yeah, even this. They stole because money ain't worth nobody's life. They stole something from me, so now I'm going to go shoot up their house. That's the type of asshole I'm talking about. Not just saying what you believe in and believing in what you just said. You should be able to say how you feel without somebody wanting to fight you for it. It's whack, it's played out. And no more. I tell you right now, I call the police on anybody. Family, anybody who called themselves wanting to fight me because of something I said. Just something I said. I'm not dealing with it. But anyways, that's what I mean by growing from that. Growing from that. And then you'll maybe reach Kanye's level to where learning about growing to be able to reach more people.
And make you think you like a beat. And you don't even know if you like it now. You just like blew somebody's ears out and stuff. So when I'm talking, a lot of times it's like I'm blowing people's ears out. My technique is too harsh. I'm beating it up too harsh. And the problem was, with Dame, his truth was more accurate and more closer to what mine was. But his technique was harsh for me as a young kid and stuff. I felt like a little bit more pressure.
Dame was an ass. He was an ass.
And Jay-Z's was a nice guy. And also, I felt like I had that truth that Dame has in him. We the same. Like me and Cam, me and Dame, we the same. But I wanted to learn this technique that Jay got of being likable. Like when I was doing Watch the Throne, one of the main reasons why I did it was to learn, Jay's techniques of how he talked to people. Man, I be talking to people the wrong way sometimes.
Me too.
I be rubbing them the wrong way. Yeah.
You guys are like the same over there, okay?
Yeah, so Jay-Z know how to move in a room full of vultures, you know what I'm saying? And as his little brother, I needed to learn that technique because I got something that God want me to give the world. I'm only doing 1%, one small iota of the work, or else he would have killed me in that car accident, or else I wouldn't have came back from Taylor Swift, or else I would have ended up with somebody wanting me for my money versus somebody who will actually buy me something for my birthday. Now,
listen, you also said
I got a lot of or else's too. And that's one of the reasons why I'm decided to go ahead and put my stuff out here on YouTube. But anyway, so yeah, he pretty much said it all. Wanting to be better so he can affect more change. That's me. To be honest with you, I kind of forgot where I was going with that. I probably already said anything, so I'm going on pause for now. All right, it just came back to me. I was wanting to tie what he just said about moving in a room full of vultures, being likable. That ties into what he is doing now, being all about love, because that's something I realize as well. Like, you can't just be mean and nasty. And honestly, you're not coming from a good place if you seeking to be mean and nasty to people and like try to say things to spite them or something. And even more so than that, even if you're not coming from that place, but you're harsh to people. I believe there's actually some scriptures about being harsh. I know there are. I just don't know specifically. I can't recall them. I would have to Google. But there's scriptures about being harsh. You can be coming from a good place and still be harsh, and your message will not be received. I guess some people may receive it, but it was not going to have the impact it could have. So one thing I've been trying to personally pray about more is, before I go into anything, remember meekness, kindness. Lord, give me meekness. Lord, give me kindness. Let me say this for meekness. Let me say this for kindness. I'm not perfect, okay? But I'm trying to meditate on that more. Meekness, kindness. And to a bigger picture than that, I communicate with people. I would communicate with white people, Asian people, you name it, people from India. I'll communicate with anybody. So I want to bridge gaps. We all don't have to focus on the same thing. What I do still benefits a communities specific to where I'm from, and also my race, but my black community. What I'm doing benefits the black community also. So, and coming from a place of love helps you to better do that. I mean, personally, it'd be great if everybody can do that, because everybody's like an individual, but I know we still got to break free from the damn yoke of race.
This ain't me putting on a jersey for David Stern and going my best and having a Mandingo fight in front of the corporations. This ain't about that. This is about us coming together, because we have strength as a people. But it's not just about black people. It's about all people. You know what I'm saying? I just want to give people advice. I inspire Big Sean as much as I inspire Drake. You know, it ain't about the particular stipulations of my contract to Universal. I don't believe that. I don't believe in Universal. I don't believe in none of this.
Basically, Kanye say he just wants you to be you. Like, you ain't gotta like his music. He ain't gotta like your music. But he know you make good music. You good. Yeah, you ain't gotta like every single little thing I do. I don't have to like every little thing you do. You're an individual. I'm an individual. But I respect you. I love you. I appreciate your creativity. I appreciate what you got to bring to the table. You are unique just as much as I am unique. Do you? Do you? Ain't it? Why we gotta have strife in that just because somebody might do things? We individuals.
Kanye West, and I'm just like Steve.
Why do you talk so much about money nowadays, man? I used to look at you as like a real revolutionary. You know, real revolutionaries didn't need money to change the world. Malcolm X wasn't rich. Martin Luther King Jr. wasn't rich. Like, I don't understand why everything is so much about money and stuff to you now.
Because you need product. You need to own something to have a voice at this point. Because I'm telling you,
you already got. You don't need to own something to have a voice. Yeah, you had a voice when you got on stage and you said George Bush don't care about black people. You was using your voice. You don't need money to have a voice.
I can use my voice, but what happened if y'all don't buy no other albums? Then that voice, people gonna say, "Oh, he like Arsenio Hall."
So, tell me. So, I know you just understood what just happened. I thought Charlamagne. Now I ain't read the man book. Yeah, I ain't read the man book. But I thought he was about black economics. Dang, I wish I can remember exactly what the preacher said. Talking about basically people that think small versus people that think big. I'm not saying Charlamagne is a small thinker. All I'm saying is, based off what he just said, he was thinking small right then. That's all I'm saying. Black economics people, are you feeling what Kanye's saying yet? Did you watch the interview and hear the man talk about building cities? I shouldn't have to say no more. Say no more, player. Say no more. Alright, I ain't really got to say nothing about this because it kind of speaks for itself, but I'm going to just let Kanye do Kanye because he straight up kind of put the man in his place, but I don't think he caught it.
Reduce. You know what makes me not buy your albums? This new narcissistic, egotistical personality you got. That's what turns me off. It makes me say, I'm not going to this show. I don't want him, man. I don't want to buy his records.
Exactly, but I'm thinking that your last name is the God, right?
Absolutely.
So anybody that's a God can recognize a God. Jesus can recognize Jesus. I mean, you know, y'all know what it is. It's
and
still
God's got to keep other gods on point too.
Keep me on point, brother.
You see him not on his square.
Yo,
it seems like you on your square right now, bro.
On 100.
Well, okay, well, Charlamagne's saying God's got to keep other gods on point, but Charlamagne, maybe you the god of the doghouse and Kanye's the god of the mansion. Maybe that's just what it is. Lord, this man, I'm not even finna replay that back. I'll let it play a little bit more. This man just said that Kanye got enough money to do it on his own. I think I already talked about that towards the beginning. The man, okay, you don't know how much this stuff costs. You ain't even in the business. And Kanye ain't talking about high fashion. He ain't talking about hats. He ain't talking about damn hats.
Hats on the side. It's not distributed amongst a whole lot of people. It's small. And you can do the same thing with the level pen.
It's small. It's small. You can do the same. Maybe that ain't what he want to do. Maybe that ain't what he want to do.
Stuff that you created and started.
People say you could do it your own, but it's industries. These industries have been set up like the coal industry, like the music industry, like the newspaper industry, clothing, manufacturing, electricity. It's something different to the way these billionaires run the world. And we not a part of that. We've only been let in on a communication level. It's a new form of cotton that we all picking. You communicating radio every day. I'm commuting music every day. But what I'm trying to tell y'all is ain't none of us free. Ain't none of us billionaires. A billionaire.
Okay. So I know y'all feel what the man is saying. Now, like I said before, it's all about what your standard is. But I feel what he's saying. Okay, he's talking about, like he said before, polo, not even that. He even talking about on a bigger level than that, the industries. He talked about it a little bit, I think, in the Charlemagne interview when he was saying pretty much one person got all these roots. It's one tree with all these roots going into these different things. And that's the industry. Now, he said there's only 1,400 billionaires. That's not a lot considering how many people on this planet. So them 1,400 people got their hands tied in quite a bit. Can you envision that? 1,400 people over all the gas in the world. Over all, to some extent, some extension, over the clothes. Or maybe he's just talking about all the high industry things. I mean, but I'm pretty sure they gotta need some subsidiary compartments as well, because I mean, you can't get to that type of level of distribution. You some type of way you're gonna have to use them. So it's an industry with this huge tree that has all these roots, and there's only 1,400 of these trees. 1,400. Imagine 1,400 trees on top of planet Earth. Envision that. 1,400 trees on top of planet Earth. Now imagine all their roots coming out, extending along the whole of the earth, reaching into all our pockets, all our hearts, all our minds. These are the industries. For whatever reason, I think that's a big thing for Kanye to try to take on, now that I'm really thinking about it. But that's what he want to take on. And I'm going to continue to pray for him. And I'm going to continue to keep a strong heart for him. And other people. Because if he thinking it, somebody else is thinking it too. And I hope that they cross paths. I believe they will cross paths. They will cross paths. But that's me getting all spiritual and stuff. Anyways, oh yeah, let's let this man continue on and what he talking about. Oh yeah. I did see this part. It's pretty much real time now because I'm kind of caught up to where I was when I started this thing. Yeah, it is longer than I ever thought it would be, but it's pretty cool. It's still cool.
They don't care.
You don't
They
have
do
to be a
whatever.
billionaire to be free. Yeah, stop equating freedom to money, my brother. Where does that mentality come from?
It comes.
Why are you equating freedom to money? Money is not what makes us free as people, man.
Y'all would like to.
Okay, so they clearly don't understand what the man is saying. Kanye knows about being free from anger, free from. I guess he learned more about being free from anger recently, but he's just talking on another level, like plain. Like imagine where you are now. Now imagine you outside of your body, looking at your consciousness or your spirit. That's the plane that Kanye is talking on. He knows, leave all the benign things down on earth right now. Yes, I know about being free from having peace and doing my yoga and being happy, being appreciative of what I got and being free in that sense. But he's talking about being free from, basically, in simplest terms, I could put this. I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that because I don't want to say that. Being free from the social construct that we are in right now. Do you really believe, do you feel in your heart you spend a lot of time with your family? If you do have the resources and the money to spend a lot of time with your family. I'm not talking about spending a lot of time with your family just because you won't go out and get a job, won't go out and get an education if that's what you need to do to get a better job and things like that. That's not what I'm talking about. Or work your way up a company. I'm not talking about people who just choose not to be better. I'm talking about people who choose to be better, try their hardest, run this rat race their whole lives, only to just die, having not families ruined a lot of the times, spirit destroyed, relationships lost, turmoil, hurt and pain. And is that what life's about? That's what Kanye is talking about. That rat race that's set up for us to run. He wants to somehow start getting us away from that. Like, and then do the first start is not conforming, just even yourself, to these standards that we have even in the general public out walking to the park or whatever. If you want to wear that bright pink shirt, wear your bright pink shirt. If you want to dye your hair whatever color you want to dye your hair whatever color. You want to wear a kilt, wear a kilt. Be yourself. Be authentically you. And a lot of this stuff, it may be hard to explain because we are just these, like, we're pieces of God. You know, so we still don't have all the answers. And sometimes it is hard to explain, but there's key things that you can start with to help bring these things to fruition. And one would be like people being more of themselves. Be yourself.
They would like us to think that we are free, but we completely control. We controlled by a Nike sign. We controlled by peer pressure. We controlled by the longing for a particular car to set at a high price. Why do Benzes cost so much? Zara and H&M came and beat Louis Vuitton ass in a matter of short time. What they do, the reason why we want that so much is because they take the creatives from St. Martin's, mostly where Riccardo Tisci, Phoebe Philo, Alexander McQueen came from. And all those guys go and work at Louis Vuitton, like Marc Jacobs. They work at Givenchy. They work at these different places. And they make that stuff that's so good that that's what we want the most. So basically, the most talented people at making visuals and making apparel are put in a luxury box by a small group of billionaires and made us wish to desire LV and fight amongst ourselves and like walk around with a bag and stuff. And what I'm saying is I learned at this point from being in Paris, where I said I wanted to Mandela the buildings. I wanted to go in Louis Vuitton store and like start ripping stuff down. But what I did is I kept it safe. I just made new slaves and I put it on the side of the buildings. And I went from not only the mental slavery that I've experienced with clothing, because I like a Balenciaga sneaker because it's designed better, and then there's kids out there buying a $1,000 sneaker, spending a month.
All right, since this thing is pretty long, I'm gonna go ahead and stop this for a little while. Yeah, the interview's still out there for anybody to watch it if they want to. I don't know. Right now I'm feeling like I might just stop the whole thing right here since it's already going into an hour. I don't want it to be too long and nobody's going to watch it. But apparently I can go on and on. Maybe I'll just make a part 2 to this. I'm still only about 20 minutes in and my memo is turned into an hour. And so there's another 20 minutes to go on this. So maybe I'll do a part 2, but I'm going to end this here. Peace.